Cardiovascular disease is a prominent issue in Singapore. Do you know that cardiovascular diseases cause 1 in 3 deaths in Singapore? Numerous factors contribute to cardiovascular diseases, from health conditions like diabetes to lifestyle factors such as smoking, drinking, poor diet, and insufficient exercise. Let's look at some past campaigns. The National Steps Challenge in Singapore incentivized people to move with monetary rewards and used an app to track the number of daily steps taken. The app is useful to challenge participants since almost everyone has a mobile phone, making it highly accessible. In the United States, the Verb campaign aimed to motivate twins in the US to exercise by giving them a ball and getting them to pass it to a friend. Instead of just ordering twins to exercise, the campaigners gave them a means to exercise through the ball and let them decide how they wanted to use that ball. Non-prescriptive methods thus seem to be more motivating and effective. Hey you!
Who, me?
Yes, you!
Oh, hello. What you wanna?
Can you help us to do this survey about health?
Okay lor.
We surveyed 32 men and found that many of them did not see cardiovascular diseases as a threat because they felt young and invincible. Both diet and exercise help lower risk of cardiovascular diseases. However, we focus on exercise as our formative research shows that it's easier to convince people to exercise more rather than convincing them to eat healthily. We also found that the younger working population has less time to exercise. So we hope to use our campaign to find out whether the use of exercise apps will help this target group find time to exercise more. Hey, are you a Singaporean male between 25 to 34 years old? If you are, great, you're in our target audience. Let me guess, you'll probably be a working adult and you'll be on your mobile phone most of the time. In 2016, 62.9% of the world population owns a mobile phone and the global number of mobile health apps has reached 259,000. The healthcare mobile app development market is one of the fastest growing today, with estimation that it will reach 102 billion by 2022. Mobile applications are a way to reach our target audience in a more personal manner to change their exercise behavior. We know that prescriptive messages don't work, so our campaign will use a narrative conveyed via a mobile game to aid users with their exercise behaviors. The theory of planned behavior will be used to frame the campaign. The theory comprises of 3 constructs: attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control, which affects intentions before influencing behavior. However, due to limited resources and time, we'll be focusing on behavioral control in our strategy. The objective of the campaign is to promote exercise among our target audience as a way to reduce their risk of cardiovascular diseases. Goals of the campaign includes having all participants meet the recommended total weekly exercise amount of 75 minutes, increasing perceived behavioral control by 10% and behavioral intentions by 2%. 2 research questions were proposed. The first being, will the use of a narrative change intentions to engage in exercise? And the second being, will the use of a narrative change exercise behaviors? Hey, it's us again. Can you fill this survey for us?
Okay, can.
Thanks, man. Our participants were recruited via convenience and snowball sampling. The questions were modeled after the theory of planned behavior and adapted from different studies. Would you like to take part in our study about using an exercise app?
Oh, okay, sure.
We had 6 participants in our campaign study. They were randomly assigned into 2 groups. Group A downloaded the 90 Plus Run Club app, which can be used to track runs. Group B downloaded the Zombies Run app, which has similar tracking functions, but with a storyline themed around the zombie apocalypse. Users could survive in the game by running to complete missions, with sound effects of zombies and helicopters to make it immersive. With their consent, we sent them a message with instructions on how to use the app.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again in a week's time. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, that's right. You hear about the app, right?
Yes, here's the last survey.
Our survey results show that there was an overall increase in behaviours in both groups. For Group A, 2 out of 3 participants exercised more with the Nike app, while there was no change in the last participant. Similarly, in Group B, 2 out of 3 participants increased their total weekly exercise by at least 45 minutes. These 2 participants had previously met Health Promotion Board's recommendations for 75 minutes of intensive exercise weekly, but had gone beyond and clocked in more than 2 hours of exercise while using the Zombies Run app. However, there was no change in exercise duration for the last participant. However, a t-test showed that these changes were insignificant.
What about the other constructs of the theory of planned behavior?
For Group A, there was an overall increase in positive attitudes and perceived behavioral control, and a decrease in subjective norms and behavioural intentions. However, after running a student's t-test, only the decrease in behavioural intentions was significant. For Group B, there was an overall decrease in positive attitudes, perceived behavioural control, the strength of subjective norms, and behavioural intentions. The t-test also showed that none of these changes were significant. Besides the post-test survey, we conducted one-on-one interviews with our participants.
So, can you tell us more about your experience with the Zombies Run app?
I didn't really like it though. The progress bar wasn't very encouraging. I walked so much but it only moved a little bit. I think the distance track was a bit inaccurate lah.
Was there anything you liked about the app?
It was interesting. It was like listening to music but with a story instead. I don't quite like the sound effects though. I think I may use the app when I exercise alone because it's good for keeping me company.
Will you use the app again then?
Probably not, because I do different kind of workouts like weights and push-ups, and sometimes I do interval training, so the app is not suitable for me. I can't choose a different workout, and I have to run at the pace the app tells me to.
Will you recommend the app to a friend?
Maybe to some of my single friends who exercise alone, or those who don't have a fixed exercise regimen. I also think this will be good for kids. It could be a way to get them to exercise.
Thank you for your feedback. We hope you continue to keep fit.
Sure, no problem.
Limitations of our campaign include inconclusive findings regarding the effects of narratives in exercise apps. Our sample size was too small, so in the future, partnerships with health companies can promote the campaign on a larger scale for a more representative sample. Also, more research can be done to see if an all functions in one app along with a narrative is able to change intentions and behaviour. We may not have been clear in the way we explain things. We introduced the apps to our participants as exercise apps instead of running apps, which could have led them to expect more from the apps. As such, some felt disappointed by the functions and features. Another limitation was the choice of narrative for this campaign. The narrative will only be appealing to those who enjoy action or thriller genres. However, the preferred genres of our participants were not controlled for in this study. The samples for both groups were also not equal in exercise characteristics. This was because of the high drop-off rates from pre-test to post-test. In the end, Group A had participants who exercised less than Group B prior to the campaign. As such, there were some confounding factors that were not addressed and accounted for. The experiment should be repeated in the future with a larger sample of at least 30 participants in each group for more statistically sound conclusions to be derived. Predispositions towards exercise should also be controlled for, and people who are not keen on action or thriller genres should be excluded as their dislikes can result in biased results about the role of narratives in exercise. So, we found out that using an app as an item to aid the process of exercise can be effective in encouraging a healthier lifestyle because of the overall increase that we saw in behaviour for both groups. However, for an app to be successful, user design and experience need to be good. We can see this from Group B's low intentions to use the Zombies Run app again because of the confusing design and poor performance. We also found that users want more features and functions besides the basic ones to suit their needs. One participant from Group B said the Zombies Run app was disruptive as it provided him no control as to how he wanted to exercise. Users could have less perceived control which may influence intentions to exercise. Therefore, we suggest that future apps can have more functions in one app to increase perceived behavioural control. If not, users may deem the app irrelevant to their lifestyle and not use it anymore. For the Healthy 365 app by Health Promotion Board that has been heavily promoted in the National Steps Challenge, app usage rates for it were high because of the monetary incentives, but more should be done to maximise the investments in the app by ensuring that it remains useful even after the campaign is over. Ooh. Okay. Remember to run for your life.